My name is Nick Vona. I am an attorney here at Rabas. I practice mainly in high-level commercial litigation, doing antitrust law, so representing local businesses and businesses throughout the country for potential violations of the Sherman Antitrust Act. I also practice in family court and criminal court as well. So, as a lawyer, I like to think of myself as a problem solver who's also reasonable at the same time. So, people come to me. Oftentimes, they're at some of their lowest points in life. I try to solve their problems, but I also try to take a realistic approach and to be straightforward with my clients, so that I don't create unrealistic results or unrealistic expectations, I should say, on their behalf. There's actually two big events in my life that led to me deciding to become a lawyer. The first was in ninth grade. I had a debate about whether Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. And he's not in the Hall of Fame, so I objectively lost, but I did very well at the debate. I actually wore one of my old ties from grade school. And at the end of the debate, my English teacher said, "Nick, please go to law school and become a lawyer." The second event was I took a year off after college, and it was always in the back of my mind to go to law school. I was speaking with one of my friends, and he said, "Nick, you are one of the people who always says, go for it, shoot for the moon, you land amongst the stars," sayings like that. So you talk about going to law school, why haven't you done it? And it clicked in my mind that he was right. So the next day I submitted about 12 law school applications and made it to where I am today. My most memorable case was one for the founding partner of our firm, Tony Rupp. He got scheduled into a trial about 2 weeks prior to this hearing, and I had to travel across the state on a pretty big case that was one of my first really big motion arguments. And I just remember being so nervous and and obviously it all worked out in the end, but I'll never forget just prepping in all hours of the night and trying to be ready for something like that. Because it's kind of the moral of the story is you always have to be ready for anything as an attorney. And you could at any time have to, try or prove your case. So outside of work, I would say I'm pretty close to your typical Western New Yorker. I like rooting for the Bills, playing sports, working out, hiking, fishing, spending time with my family and my dog, and just trying to have a strong work-life balance, which I think is important for just about anyone. Everyone, there's always that lure or that potential to get drown in work and just work yourself to the bone, but burnout's also a real thing. So I try to strike that balance, and I would like to think I do it okay. So my legal tip is going to be watch your mouth. And I know that's a saying that everyone's probably heard before, but especially in my practice, a lot of times where emotions are running high and there's this need that people have oftentimes, and I felt it myself, where you want to get the last word, or you want to be right, or you want to drive your point home. And I guess my tip would be a word of caution when doing that, because oftentimes those emotional statements, whether made via text message, email, voicemail, or even out loud to the opposing party, can eventually end up in evidence in front of a judge. And those statements oftentimes don't reflect the whole situation or the true character of the person making them. So a word of caution as my legal tip is, before you hit send, before you send that voicemail or make that statement, to think about it a little bit and watch your mouth.